Hi, this is Frankie from AboutScript, and in this video we're going to be setting up a web development environment on Windows. There will also be a tutorial for Linux, so click right around this area to get to that tutorial if you're not going to be on Windows. That tutorial also applies to Mac. The first thing we're going to need is we're going to need a web server on our own computer. A lot of times you'll end up using a web server on another computer, usually a web host, but for testing, you don't want to have to send all of your files over to the web host every time you change something in one of your documents. So we're going to get something running on our local computer. I recommend Apache because it runs everywhere, and as far as I'm concerned, it's the best and most versatile web host. So we're going to go to Apache and download it. If you just go into Google and type download Apache, you get bounced all over the place in here and it's hard to find the actual thing that we're looking for. So I'm just going to give you a link to this in the description for this video. On this page, you want to go and you want to find an MSI for the most recent Apache version, which is 2.2.2, and you can either decide if you want SSL or not. Just download the MSI, not the MSI.asc. When you're done with that, put it on your desktop because we're going to be running it. While we're setting this up, feel free to download WebStorm from the JetBrains website. Simply go through the install process, reading all the instructions and your license agreement. You want to set these accordingly, so we're just going to type localhost for each of these. We're going to go with a custom install. Just because I haven't done this before, I want to make sure what I'm putting in. And it seems to be all set just the way I want it, so I'm just going to continue. And click install. Now Apache will only take a few minutes to install, and then we just have to find where it installs to. To be honest, I've never actually installed Apache on Windows, so it's just as much an experiment for me as it is for you, although I know how Apache works because of my experience with it on Linux. When that's done installing, we're going to test it out, and then we're going to install WebStorm. You might choose to use a different IDE or just a plain text editor for creating your HTML pages, but we're going to use WebStorm in these videos. I highly recommend it, although it only comes with a 30-day free trial. That'll be good enough to get through these videos, hopefully. I highly recommend getting a license for it, and I believe it's also on sale if you happen to be catching it around this time that I'm putting the video out. But if you decide not to go with that, I either recommend Eclipse or NetBeans, which you can search for, and make sure that you search for the JavaScript version of them because they typically only work for the Java language. So Apache appears to be installed, and you notice that it's installed because you have this little icon in the folder here. We're going to open this, and we're going to go see where is Apache because I'm not actually sure. So we're just going to go to our C drive, maybe program files, Apache, and let's see, htdocs. Okay, and then we have this index.html. So you see this path here? This is where you're going to put all of your web files. So to do a simple test, we're going to change the name of this file to awesome.html, then open up our web browser. Open a new tab and type localhost. And you see we have an awesome.html file. If we were to type localhost/awesome.html, it pulls up this page here. So now we know that our server's working and we're going to install WebStorm. Simply run the installer after downloading it from jetbrains.com/webstorm/download. Currently version 5 is the newest version, and that's what we're going to be using in all of our videos. You can see it's also available for Mac and Linux. simply run the installer, go through the process, and that's pretty much it. And that's all we have to do to get everything set up for this video. So rather than waiting for the rest of the install to go through, I'm just going to end the video here. I hope you enjoyed it, and watch the next video in the series. All right, thanks.